For the next 100 days, I'm going to be building a cozy desert oasis in the Mounts of Mayhem drop, complete with beach huts, palm trees, and homes for all the newest mobs in Minecraft. Catching the camel husk, zombie horse, and nautiluses, not a lie, doesn't go as smoothly as planned, but I think we can get it done. So get ready to settle in and watch how I turned this desert into one of my best bases yet. If you like fun and cozy videos like this, check out my channel for more. And now let's get started. Okay, desert spawn. I like it. I only like it because I hope that means there's a warm ocean nearby, because we are going to need that to find the nautilus, and we need the desert for the camel husk. Luckily, we have that jungle over there for wood, and it looks like maybe lush cave. Even better, I see a village. Let's go take their stuff. But because I'm a little superstitious, I think I'm gonna punch a tree first and get wood tools the right, proper Minecraft way. Oh my goodness, look at the camel. Oh, I want a camel. How do you tame a camel? Is it like a horse? Do I just sit on you? Excuse me, you're putting your head like really into my eyes. Why is he doing that? That's so funny. It's like, I can't tell if he's trying to get me off or if he like wants me to scratch his head. I think the secret is to feed them a cactus. Oh, he loves me already. I don't have a saddle or a lead, but I have a camel. I think I'm gonna call him Gerald. And Gerald, I promise you, I will return for you one day. Now, where's that village? Ooh, desert temple. That's fun. I made it to the village, looted everything that I could. This was not a very large village. There were only like 3 buildings and 2 farms, so not a lot of loot to be had, but believe me, I took everything I could and slept my first night under the stars. I definitely want to loot this temple, but I also want to do it with a brush so I can do the suspicious sand part of it. I think before we do that, I'm going to head over to this stone mountain here so I can upgrade my tools. Much better. And since we're up here, I might as well get this iron and coal. Of course, for our brush, we are going to need copper, and I do see some in this slightly precarious location, but I think we can manage. I can't remember, but I think that there is a chance possibly to get feathers in the loot of a desert temple. I'm not 100% sure, but let's go find out. No feathers, but there was a golden apple, some string and bones, a sharpness 1 book, an infinity book, armor trims, and emeralds that I did grab. After the desert pyramid, I decided to head to the jungle to start collecting jungle wood and hopefully some jungle saplings so that we'll have those wherever we decide to base. My inventory is overflowing, so I think the time has come to choose a place where we are going to settle down. I want to build somewhere along the shoreline. I think that would be helpful in collecting nautilus and nautilus armor. And all of this is pretty hilly, but there's a good flat expanse over on this side that I think is going to be perfect for our base area. I am trying to get better at Minecraft, so I definitely want to try to have an enchantment set up this go around, so I am taking the time to plant some sugarcane. And this is officially going to be our base area. But before I really settle into building, I want to explore the surrounding area and just see what we have around us and hopefully find some good shipwreck loot. Our first nautilus armor! We got the iron nautilus armor in this ocean ruins. That's awesome. Okay, copper nautilus armor. Nice. Oh my gosh, I think there's another village. This is right across the ocean from our base area. This village is much larger than the first one we found, so I took some time to loot it, and I also decided that I needed to make a brush because right in this village is another desert temple, and I don't want to not brush the suspicious sand. Here is the treasure loot that I got from the temple, but now it's time to get that brush. And for that we need a feather, which for that we need a chicken, which was surprisingly difficult to find. But in the end, we prevailed. I also had left my copper ingots at home, so I needed to find some quick copper to smelt up, and then we were able to make our brush. And now I'm finally able to brush. I do have a reason why I really want pottery sherds, but we'll get into that later. I also had an unwanted visitor. He scared me, but now we're monster hunters, and that feels really good. With my pockets very full, it was definitely time to head back home. I dropped off all my treasures and then put my brush to good use at the wells that are really close to our base area. With a little bit of the adventuring and loot goblining out of my system, I decided to start clearing this spot here for our first build of the base, which will be a little beach hut. And while I was doing that, I realized I don't have any dirt to start growing any crops, so I headed over to this little savanna to grab dirt for crops and to be able to make mud bricks. I got to work back at the base laying out the crop farm. I planted what few wheat seeds I have so far. This is the only crop we can really grow. Also, those guys up on the hill were making me a little nervous, so I decided maybe it was time to do a little bit more ocean exploring. I am loving the way the light looks underwater with these shaders. It's so pretty. And we got another copper nautilus armor. Very nice. Okay, we got carrots and potatoes. Oh, this was a good shipwreck. Since my travels had brought me pretty close to the bamboo part of this jungle, I decided to take the opportunity to chop down as much bamboo as I could carry with my very limited inventory space. And back at home, I planted the bamboo, potatoes, carrots, and set up a big jungle tree to grow because I have plans for a future build. I'd like to line my farm plot with these bamboo planks, but I am going to need a lot more bamboo. And now it's finally time to start the beach hut. I think for now, I'm at least going to get the platform laid out. The build is going to consist mainly of jungle planks, but I also plan to mix in some packed mud, mud bricks, and stripped jungle wood. I also know that we have a lush cave nearby, and I'd love to have some of the hanging roots as well. Okay, so the amount of jungle wood I had definitely did not keep up with what we need to finish the beach hut. So it's time to head back to the jungle to chop down more wood. Oh, broken axe. Good thing I have another one. And I also decided to take some time to collect some leaves as well because I do want to build some custom palm trees at our base area also. On the morning of day 9, I decided to chop down a few more jungle trees, grab a little bit more of bamboo, and also dive down to get some coal because I am going to need to smelt a lot of glass for the base area. I cannot tell you how much I love underwater caving. It's like the best invention ever. Oh my goodness, our jungle tree grew and it is perfect for what I have planned. That's awesome. I finally have enough bamboo to finish outlining my little plot. Okay, so even though we went to get jungle wood to build the hut, I am so excited. The way that this tree grew is going to be perfect for my treehouse kind of like lookout area that will help us hunt the camel husk that we need to collect during this 100 days. And And I spent the rest of day 9 as well as all of day 10 building the spiral staircase and working on the platform for our jungle tree lookout. I stayed up through the night because I was kind of struggling with doing an even numbered circle. I'm so used to working with odd, but trees are 2 by 2. So that was a little bit of a struggle. And while I was working on this, my axe broke. And when I went to go make a new one, things went terribly wrong. A bunch of mobs had tracked me up my spiral staircase. And while I was trying to escape them, I guess I somehow looked at this Enderman because the next thing I knew, I was dead. I found myself in a bit of a death loop. I did meet my first camel husk. It went poorly, but eventually I was able to recover and get back to work on my jungle lookout. Whew, that was rough. Well, it looks like I'm not quite ready for hardcore yet. To complete the jungle lookout, I do want to have some bamboo fence as like guardrails so I don't fall off, and also to act as poles to hold up a little bit of a roof detail. Originally, I kind of planned to fill in the roof, but I kind of like how it's looking where it's sort of like outlining the leaves of the tree. I think that's gonna look cute. Wow, look at the view. This is going to be awesome for finding camel husks in the future when we have a bow and arrow and we can take care of the rider. Ooh, I can't wait to see it in the day. Oh my gosh, it turned out so cute. Okay, these 2 creepers are making me nervous because I just finished building that. I'm trying so hard to get good at killing creepers instead of having them blow up. Don't you dare go up there. Come here, creeper. Come, come, come. This way, this way. Okay. And... crit. I did it. And again. Yes. Whew. As I was saying, I just think that the shape of it and everything just turned out so well. I love this tower and I cannot wait to hunt a camel husk from it. But of course, it's not totally complete until we light it up. Much better. With our first big build out of the way, I just spent the rest of the day sort of puttering around, organizing and moving things onto our beach hut platform and preparing for what I needed to do next, which is go get a lot of mud for the mud brick walls and packed mud that I'll need to finish the hut. Who knew I'd be so happy to find a patch of dirt, but with my trusty doors and my trusty water bottle, I'm able to convert all of the dirt at the bottom of the sea into mud for our packed mud and mud bricks. The jungle lookout is so cute, and it's a really good landmark to help me find my way back home. And with raiding a couple villages and having the wheat that we've been farming ourselves, I've got plenty to make the packed mud and brick walls that we need for the beach hut build. Yes, finally, no more floating platform. I'm definitely going to have to get some more at some point to extend these poles down to the ground, but for now, that's good enough. And finally, we're able to begin the beach hut build, which is mainly jungle planks, but also mixing in some jungle logs and packed mud as well. Now for the best part. Stripping logs in Minecraft is one of my favorite things to do. I'm looking out this window and I think I'd prefer to look out a window on this side because this side is the ocean view. It's like the money shot. So I'm gonna swap the windows because I think this side will end up being where I have all my storage chests. So much better. Look at that view. Oh my gosh. I started working on adding some of the details to the hut with jungle fences and jungle trapdoors. And then on day 16, I was able to move on to the roof. However, I did run out of jungle wood again, so it's back to the jungle to get even more. The next few builds I have planned are pretty jungle wood intense, so I'm going to chop down as many as I can with the rest of the iron axe that I have. I'm also going to need plenty of leaves, so I'm going to burn through these shears to get as many leaves as I can too. And I spent the rest of day 16 chopping down junglewood trees. And with all that jungle wood, we were able to finish the roof of the beach hut on day 17. I added in a little campfire at the top for some smoke. And of course, I finished it off by stripping the logs. And with that, it just left me with a little bit more detailing to do. I love using signs as a way to blend together logs with the planks of the build. It is looking so adorable. I really like the way it looks. It is a little bit monochromatic, but I am okay with that. We still do have some work to do on the interior, but I really like the airy feeling that we get in here because I left that gap between the roof and the walls. It's just very beach vibes. I think to complete the look of the roof and have it be more like a thatched roof, I am going to use hanging roots, and for that I just need to bone meal this rooted dirt that I grabbed from one of those azalea trees that we found in the desert, and hopefully this will be enough to finish off the roof. These hanging roots plus the jungle wood, they just go so well together. I think this is going to be the perfect finishing touch to the beach hut. I need a few more, and I finally figured it out. You got to put your shears in your right hand and the bone meal in the left, and then just flip-flop which button you're clicking, and it goes super fast. Oh yeah, that totally brings the whole look together. I like it so much. Now that we have a roof and 4 walls, so to speak, it's time to start getting a little bit more organized around here. And as I was organizing, I heard a familiar and welcome sound. It's a guy, he's here. Welcome to my desert. Oh, I hope he has good stuff. Lily pads, yes. Mushrooms, yes. Okay, 2 decor items. I'm definitely buying as much as I can. Luckily, I had emeralds from raiding all those shipwrecks and maybe from the village. So I did my trades and got 2 new friends. They're a little mad at me, but they'll get over it. Hopefully. The next day, I finished up my organization. It was a rainy day in the desert, so I stayed close to home, did some farming, and then started laying out the plans for my next build, which will be our enchantment hut. After removing the sand from the little outline I had made, it was time to lay the floor. This is going to be a mix of jungle wood and stripped jungle logs again, but again, I am out of jungle wood, so I'm just laying the planks in this little pattern, and I'll have to go get more jungle wood to fill in the rest with the jungle logs. And since I made the trip over to the jungle, I decided to chop down jungle trees all through the night, which might not have been the best decision. Oops. Luckily, it's not too far away, and I was able to get all of my stuff back and get back to chopping. And with all that wood I gathered in the jungle, I was able to complete the platform for the enchantment hunt by the end of day 21. Now for the best part. And the base of our enchantment hut is complete. And now to finally get the walls of our enchantment hut built. I didn't know zombies attack llamas. Oh no. Oh, llamas attack zombies is more like it. Oh my goodness. Well, I'm going to have to fence you in because I don't want you to die. Okay, that should keep him safe. And I think I'm not gonna sleep away the night, so I can use this time to do some underwater mining. Definitely need some more coal and a little bit of copper. But what I really need is more iron. And I'm at the bottom of a little inlet underground, and I think this is gonna lead to a cave. Nailed it. I play a lot of Minecraft Bingo, and in playing so much Bingo, you start to learn a lot about Minecraft terrain generation and where to look for certain things. And so I feel pretty good about my ability to find caves from the ocean. I spent some time in the cave gathering the easy, quick iron and doing a little bit of exploring until my pickaxe was basically dead and I was out of food. Let's get out of here. And I spent the rest of the day chopping some wood, doing some farming, and smelting up more supplies for future builds. During the night, we had a visitor, but he did not have anything that I was interested in except for his llamas. Now that we have plenty of iron for tools and all of our supplies, I think it's finally time to finish the enchantment hut. Now that the enchantment hut is mostly complete, I still have some detailing left to do. I think it's time that we're gonna have to go get obsidian and diamonds to make our enchantment table. And for that, I think I'm gonna want full iron armor. Look at me. I'm totally ready to go get a bunch of diamonds and obsidian. I think my best bet will be to head back down to that cave we found under the water here and then hopefully find a deeper down part of it. I definitely have not fully explored down here, so hopefully we can find some diamonds pretty easily. At the end of the cave, I found this aquifer, which again, I think if I swim to the deepest part of it and dig straight down, it will open up into a deeper cave. While I was looking for the deepest part of this aquifer, I found a geode, so of course I had to collect some of the crystals. I chose this spot by this magma block because that would help me find it in the future, and I'm just gonna dig straight down and hope that my instincts are correct, and they are. There's another cave below us. Okay, this is a big spooky cave. Ooh, and there's a mine shaft. This is amazing. Uh-oh, I hear bad guys already. This is not great. I don't think I have any torches left. I did have torches left, but I got a little overwhelmed with all the skeletons and all the creepers, and it went poorly. Thankfully, the path leading to this part of the cave was pretty well lit and very safe, so I was able to get back very quickly and get all of my stuff. After lighting up the cave a little bit to make a safe zone, I was able to discover some lava. I spent a lot of time running around, lighting up the cave, dodging enemies, but I just could not find any diamonds down here. Then I happened to notice this diamond in the ceiling. At least we've got one, but there were more. And in the end, this was a 5 diamond vein, which is so cool. And I feel very happy. Diamonds! Woohoo! And now it's time to tackle this mine shaft and see what kind of loot we can get from here. Oh, we got a name tag. I'm definitely gonna want that. All of these spider sounds are kind of freaking me out a little bit. Just hanging around. More diamonds. Oh my gosh, there's the minecart like right there. We have to get that. Okay, golden apple, I'll take it. Overall, a pretty good mining trip. I spent the rest of day 26 detailing the hut and then woke up to this. My latest 2 llamas are gone. I don't know if the husks killed them or if they despawned, but it's very sad. At least least I had my favorite part left to do on the roof. And for the final details of the exterior, I'm expanding the roof, adding in some mud bricks and a lot of jungle fences for some detail as well. I went with hanging roots again to give it that thatched look, and then filled in the rest of this area with packed mud. And then it was time for the best part. I decided it was a little dark in here, especially for daytime, so I punched out 2 windows at the back. Much better. And to finish off the hut, I am going to want some banners, which means we need to get some sheep, which means back to the savannah. Hopefully we can find some sheep. Aha, gotcha. And I'm going to get your friend too. Now, I wonder if I'm in my boat holding the leads, will they be okay? They seem okay. Look at their little feet. It's like they're kind of water skiing a little bit. And here we are at your new home, little sheepies. I'm just popping them in the llama pen for now. This is all temporary. And I'm gonna want white banners, so we need to dye them. And this is where I realized they are not gonna regrow their wool because I put them on sand, which means we need to get grass over here. Luckily, we have a Silk Touch pickaxe already that we got from a ruined portal, so getting the grass shouldn't be too difficult. I don't want to burn through the Silk Touch pickaxe because I am going to also want to collect coral with it. And until we have an enchantment set up and maybe get our own Silk Touch, I don't want to risk it. Oh my gosh, I woke up to more llama murder again. Oh, how did he get in? Oh my gosh. I don't know what it is, but I feel like creepers are worse. There's more and they're worse. Well, at least the sheep are okay, and I have their grass, so it wasn't all bad. With the pen all repaired from that creeper hole, I've bred the sheep. I'm laying in some grass on the outside edges, which will hopefully spread inside the pen so the sheep will eat the grass and regrow their wool. I chopped down my oak and replaced it with the azalea trees because I believe that these leaves will be brighter green even in the desert. Okay, it looks like the grass spread because one of the sheep grew its wool back, so I think it's working. For my enchantment hut, I do want chains because I have some things I want to hang from the ceiling, but instead of using our precious iron to craft chains, I'm going to just go back to that mine shaft to take the chains that naturally generate there. And since I'm down here, I might as well grab obsidian for our enchantment table and for our future nether portal. And back at the hut, we've got the beginnings of an awesome enchantment setup. The only problem being, of course, that I don't have enough levels to do much, and I also need to get some more diamonds. I am also missing the blocks of hanging kelp that I wanted to put in the enchantment hut, so it was back to the ocean to do some more exploring because in a coral ocean, there is no kelp. Along the way, I brushed some more suspicious sand, found a couple shipwrecks, did a treasure hunt, and of course, got my kelp for the kelp blocks. I think having these hanging is just going to add a little bit of visual interest because this is such a high ceiling for the hut. And we are next to the... Oops. Oh. While I am very proud of myself that I have an enchantment setup, I don't have levels to take full advantage of what the enchantment table has to offer, so I am gonna need to figure out the best way to get some levels. My solution for now is to head back into my cave and just mine a bunch of coal because I know that gives XP. So do diamonds. I'll take it. And I think redstone? Yes, it does. Perfect. Oh, and so does lapis apparently. I'm learning all kinds of things. I mean, my method's working. It's, ooh, Ooh, diamonds. Ooh. Oh my gosh. This is awesome. Look at all the diamonds. This is gonna help me get so geared up and be so good. Oh, amazing. I spent some time lighting up a lot of the mine shaft that I had skipped over previously. And I started hearing a lot of zombies, which made me think there might be a spawner nearby, and that could be a really good way to get our XP. There are so many zombies coming around the corner, and it has to be close by. I saw some zombies falling down, so I think it's right inside here. Okay, or not. Oh, no. Oh. Okay. That baby went the wrong way, which I'm fine with. He can go that way all he wants. There has to be a spawner. There is. Oh my gosh, amazing, amazing. This is exactly what we needed to get the XP that we need to do all of our enchanting, so I decided to take some time and build a zombie farm. Very simple, very basic, but definitely will do the trick for what we need. Oh, what in the world? How did he spawn? I have torches. Let's see you spawn now, zombies. Okay, we should be all set. Okay, saw them spawn. Let's go to the killing chamber. There he is. This might take a while. I'll see you when I hit 30 levels. We did it. It's now day 37, but I have 30 levels, so we can enchant all of our gear. Okay, it's giving us efficiency 3. Nice. Unbreaking and efficiency. Let's try the unbreaking on our axe. Nice. Efficiency and unbreaking 3 for the axe. And only efficiency 3 on our pick. Time to give my fancy new shovel a whirl. It's time to start collecting lots of sand because I have builds planned that need lots of glass and that need lots of smooth sandstone. And on day 39, I got to start smelting some of the glass. However, I realized I'm going to need a lot more fuel to get the glass that I need. So it's back to the caves for some more mining. Did I leave a floating tree? Straight to Minecraft jail with me. And the sheep are doing really well. The way that I set up my grass seems to have worked. In the night, a camel husk appeared, and I think I can get him. Oh gosh, I'm sitting on him. Get off, get off. Okay. I don't have a saddle. Oh my goodness. I have a camel husk now. Let me see if I can hook him up with a lead. Okay, there we go. We have a camel husk. I think this is a sign that next up we're gonna build the camel stables for Husky, our camel husk. I know I'm super clever with naming my animals. Before we do start that build, I want to get a saddle for Husky, and I know that there's a savanna and I think a plains over this way where hopefully we can find some cows so we can craft our own saddle. I am in no position to be turning down any coal I come across because we need so much for all the smelting I have to do. Right at sunset, I was finally able to find some cows, and luckily they did drop enough leather for us to get the saddle crafted. I took the long way home so I could collect more coal and more sandstone, which saves me a step of having to craft a lot of sand into sandstone, which I then have to smelt into smooth sandstone. Hopefully that's enough coal to tide us over for the time being. I made a second diamond pickaxe in the hopes maybe I could roll a better enchantment like Silk Touch, which was an option, but also Fortune was an option, and I didn't have enough levels for that, so I decided to just set that aside and we can maybe try and get some more levels in a little bit. Most of the rest of the day was spent gathering resources for the camel stable build. We are almost done with our banners for phantoms. I do see another camel husk. It might be cool to have a friend for Husky. Time to use our lookout as intended. This is exactly why I wanted this. It might be too far away. And I don't have infinity. And everything's despawned right in front of my eyes. Got him. I do need a teeny tiny little bit of birch for the build, so I found some pretty close by next to that savanna. I had a couple bones, so I tried to tame a dog, but no luck. Now that I had most of what I needed for the build, it was time to start preparing the land by terraforming a little bit of the desert to make room for our camel stables. Working into the night, of course, let me had another chance at getting a friend for Husky, which I was totally successful. I think I'm gonna call her Camille. And day 43, I continued terraforming to make the land a little more even where I plan to put the camel stables. And with that, I think we've got a pretty well done foundation for the camel stables. I also just want to kind of even out some of this sand because I used a lot of this sand to do the foundation. During the night, I decided to add a little bit of a bridge / path up to the enchantment hut from our starter hut. I think this will just be a much more convenient way of walking back and forth between the two. Leaving the bridge as a nighttime project, it's finally time to get started building the camel stables. And for this build, I used a lot of smooth sandstone with some cut sandstone, bamboo accents, and some chiseled sandstone accents as well. Finally, the enchantment hut is completely done. This path / bridge is kind of my nighttime project because it's very well lit around this area, so I can work on it pretty safely through the night, so I'm not sleeping away all of my days in this desert world. I'm just adding in some trapdoors to give it a little bit more of a rustic feel. I would also use campfires to achieve this effect, but I am so desperate for coal that I cannot spare it at the moment. Maybe in the future, like once we're further along in all of the smelting I have to do, I can add in the campfires, but for now, it's just going to be a mix of slabs and trapdoors. And to finish off the camel stable, I used stairs to create this little arch, bamboo fences to hold my mix of copper and iron lanterns, and then a fence and trapdoor detail on the roof. And there it is. The camel stable is complete. We can move Husky and Camille into the stables and then maybe do a little bit of decorating to make it a prettier place. Come, Camille. Here's your nice new little home. I decided Camille kind of just likes to be at home. She's a homebody, but Husky kind of likes to free roam. And that's why he's the one that has the saddle, because he's the one that likes to adventure. So I think I might leave him loose and just see if he kind of naturally sticks around the area. We'll have to play it by ear. I decided to use this area under the stairs as a hay storage for the camels. I also dug out some of the floor in Camille's stall to add a layer of hay for bedding that she can lay on to be a little bit more comfortable than sand. I also did the same for Husky's stall, even though he's not in there as often as Camille is in hers. I decided it would look nice to have a little bit of a watering hole in front of the camel stables. This way we can add a little green to our world and provide a place for the camels to take a nice long drink. And I went with a mix of cactus, sugarcane, and bamboo to decorate the edges of our watering hole. Now I'm just showing Husky where the watering hole is. He really likes it. It's going to look a lot better once some of the plants grow up, I promise. In order to decorate the camel stables, I definitely am going to need bricks to make some more pots. So I made my way back down to that lush cave we had found. And since I'm down here, I thought I would grab some drift leaves to add to the watering hole for the camels as well. Oh my goodness, you are so cute. I definitely think this guy belongs in the watering hole too. Welcome to the watering hole. Aw, she likes it. Then I just added in the little drip leaves that I had collected from the lush cave, along with some seagrass and some sea pickles. It is looking very cute. Even this guy agrees. Now that I had enough bricks to make the decorated pots, I wanted to show a resource pack that I had added to this playthrough. It's called O's Pottery Sherds, and look at that. It changes each sherd instead of the little like vanilla Minecraft design into this really cute painted pattern. I love it so much, and I'm so excited to see all the different pots we can get with the sherds that we have. And here's the 4 unique ones that we have so far. They're so cool. I made a little table to hold 2 of our decorated pots underneath these stairs in the camel stable area. On top of the camel stables, I'm going to use the rest of my decorated pots as plant holders, and then I'm going to use these fence posts and trapdoors to create like a little patio space up here. While I was gathering my plants for above the camel stables, I forgot I had purchased these lily pads from the Wandering Trader. I don't know how accurate they are to the desert, but I think they look cute, so we're keeping them. Now we're to my favorite part of building, which is when we get to add a bunch of little details to the build to really bring it to life and make it super cute. I added in these banners to act as like more shade for the patio area. And of course, we're gonna need somewhere to sit when we're up here. Since we're in the desert, I had to make use of the cactus to get some green dye for our little rug. And then it was plant time. And in the end, I think that this area turned out so cute. And there is the completed camel stables, watering hole, and rooftop patio area. And since my diamond pickaxe is almost dead, I had to make the difficult decision between Fortune 2 or Silk Touch. And in the end, I went with Fortune 2. I think that will really help me with the coal collection because we need so much coal for all the smelting we're doing. Now that the camels had a place to live, I decided it was time to make the sheep area a little bit more permanent. So I chose this spot back here, terraformed it, and built a very simple sheep pen. And don't worry, I remembered about the grass. If I keep one outside the pen like this, then there's at least always one guaranteed grass and it will continuously spread. I'm just very carefully excavating the grass with my Silk Touch golden pickaxe I found in a ruined portal. It feels a little wrong, but hey, it's working. And then it was time to move the sheep. Come on, sheepies, come. I've got a new pen for you. This should be a wide enough opening for most of them. Oh yeah, they're making it through. And since I only ended up with 2 in this pen, I decided to breed them. First baby in the new pen, and he immediately escaped. I can fix this pretty easily. Moving the sheep went really smoothly, and they have such a gorgeous view from up here. I do have a plan for another stable right underneath where the sheep are, but for that I'm gonna have to clear out some of this hill. So time to get working on that. After a day of terraforming and resource gathering, I needed a lot more coal, so it was back to the caves to get as much coal as we could get in the night with our new Fortune 2 pickaxe, which should really help us get so much more. I got a little bit turned around in a mine shaft, and so I am just staircasing up to get out of the caves because I got completely lost. Hello? Oh, I see our lookout. We did end up with a pretty good amount of coal, so hopefully that'll get me through the next round of smelting that I need to do. I'm just going to put these chests here to hold my resources for the next build, which is going to be a horse stable. But it's going to be for a special kind of horse, a new kind of horse. Definitely going to need all of this bamboo. It's definitely been a day of resource gathering, but I also have been making sure to keep on top of smelting my sand for glass for a future build. We also need more birch, and living in the desert, killing a lot of skeletons and looting desert temples means I have a lot of bones, which is perfect because most of this glass needs to be white glass. After collecting a little bit more bamboo and clearing the land, it's time to begin building the horse stables. I built the main part of the stables with birch and sandstone, with a roof of jungle planks and jungle logs that were stripped, plus more of those bamboo accents. I also added in a very large corral area for the horses to be able to roam free and have access to water. I think it is definitely time to enchant our bow. Okay, power 3 is good. Okay, we got Unbreaking 3 as well, and I have an infinity book that I could put on the bow, which is perfect so we don't have to worry about getting arrows. Are you good, Husky? You don't look so good. I don't think bamboo should be growing like through your body. I did tell you he's an adventurous guy. Later that night, I was able to rescue another camel husk from the clutches of the skeleton husk or whatever they're called and the zombie husk. Leave my camel husk alone, you. We shall call him Alfonso. Aw, he's so tired from his trials in the desert. But Husky's always ready to go. I'm going to need a lot of stripped birch and stripped oak for pathways around the different builds in the base area. And for that, I headed over to this forest. And once night falls, I'm going to stay out here and head to the plains nearby to try and catch a zombie horse. It's getting to be night. I'm just making it over to the plains right nearby the forest and the desert village. So far, no zombie horse luck. I found kind of a perfect lookout area that gives me a pretty good view of the plains. So if a zombie horse spawns, I should be able to see it from here. I was just about to give up hope when all of a sudden... Oh, that spear hurts. Oh my goodness. Okay, shoot the zombie, not the horse. Oh, shoot the zombie. I wish he would just stay still for 2 seconds. Oh, I did it. We got it. Okay, come with me. Oof, it's a long way back. I do know that the zombie horse will burn in the sun. So I'm going to take him as far as I can and then build him like a little protective box. Okay, I have him boxed. I am worried that he's going to despawn. I think if I put a saddle on him, he won't. And I just need 2 more leather, so I'm gonna head back over and see if there's any cows. I didn't find any cows, but I did find Gerald the camel from like day 1. I don't know if you guys remember. I'm so happy. I'm also really worried that as we're doing this, the zombie horse is getting ready to despawn, and it is raining, so I feel like if I take him out in the rain, I don't think he's gonna burn. Now, it technically is still raining. We're just in the desert, so water doesn't fall from the sky, but you can tell by the way that it looks that this is rain. I think we're safe. We were, in fact, not safe. Oh my gosh, my inventory's full. Zombie horse. Oh. Well, Gerald, at least you don't burn in the sun. I'm gonna put Gerald in this last stall, but of course he needs some hay to lie down on as well. Come on, Gerald. Come, come, come. Aw, what a sweet boy. There's nothing like stripping logs in Minecraft. Day 58, I headed back to the plains. I was determined to find enough cows to get enough leather to make a saddle for the zombie horse to ensure it wouldn't despawn, even if I built a whole box around it to protect it from the sun. Somehow I had lost my iron that I had brought with me before, so I found some pretty nearby and smelted that up and was able to craft my saddle. I did not want to waste any daylight, so I spent the rest of the day part of day 58 stripping and chopping oak trees and birch trees for my paths. After quite a while of waiting and killing mobs who came too close, a zombie horse did appear, and then it despawned right before my eyes, and that was the only one that came out that night. Aw, man. Even though I'm not done with all of the builds of the base area, I think I'm done with the main ones that are going to be on land, and I would love to connect them with a path. I feel like the paths just really tie areas and builds all together really well, and for this path I'm doing stripped birch, stripped oak, and sandstone, and then I'm going to line it with some various plants and lampposts. I got interrupted after recording the last little bit, and when I came back I forgot to hit record again, so I did miss out sharing with you the night of day 59 and all of day 60 and night 60. Basically, I spent a lot of time messing around with my path design. This is kind of what I've come up with. I then collected more stripped birch and stripped oak. The night of day 59, I did get a zombie horse to spawn, but it spawned right before dawn, and I was not fast enough taming it to be able to get the saddle on it so that it wouldn't burn in the sun, and it burnt. And then day 60, which was the day before today, I did the same thing where I collected a bunch of oak and birch. By that point, I hadn't slept in so long that phantoms were spawning, so it was not a great night to try and catch zombie horses, so I ended up coming back early so I could sleep and working on my paths a little bit more, collecting some more supplies, and now it's back to that plains because I am determined to get a zombie horse in our stables. I know it's probably a little bit hard to see, but I did build this viewing platform / containment box so that once we are able to get a zombie horse, I can lock it in this box and it won't burn. And I have a little bit of a better view of more sides of this hill to hopefully be able to find a zombie horse tonight. I circled those plains all night long and never did a zombie horse even spawn, at least that I saw. At least I'm able to collect cactus flowers as I go back and forth. And back to more path work, this time connecting the starter hut to the camel stables. Okay, slight change of plans. I think I'm going to take the path from the starter hut direct to the watering hole, and then I'm going to curve the path around the watering hole to the camel stables. I think that just makes more sense. While out collecting dead bushes and dried grass, I noticed someone had gotten himself in a little bit of trouble. Oh, Husky, what are we gonna do with you? I think if I just break these, he'll be able to climb out. We'll see. I spent all day working on the path, but now the sun is setting and it's time to head back to the plains because I'm getting a zombie horse by the end of this 100 days, I promise. Just practicing my archery, waiting on a zombie horse. I even did a thing. What in the world? Oh, kill a skeleton from 50 meters away. We did it. 0 zombie horse sightings last night, so I'm gonna spend this day in the forest just stripping and chopping because I need a lot of logs for the path, and this will kind of keep me close by to maximize the nighttime that I have in the plain. What are you doing here? Why are these camels over here? It's so silly. Back on my platform, ready for zombie horse hunting. I don't know. I didn't see any again. I stood on the platform and watched. I got off. I ran around. I killed a bunch of mobs to like make room in the mob count. Like, I don't know what to do. I mean, one thing I can do is tame a non-zombie horse, so at least I have hopefully a faster mode of transportation between the beach and the plains. And I mean, somebody ought to enjoy the saddle that I crafted and the whole horse stables and corral that I built. Yay, you love me. I think I'm gonna name him Not a Zo. Like, not a zombie. Not a Zo. And here's your corral. It has access to water. I think he likes it here. Of course, not as I was gonna want some hay. Perfect. And then right back into more path work. I'm liking the layout of it. I am trying to get rid of as much torch spam as I can by using walls and lanterns to replace them along the path at least. And next up, I'll be connecting the treehouse outlook to the main path as well. I do tend to work into the night if I'm at my base area that's pretty well lit and I feel like it's pretty safe to just do some building and not really worry about mobs attacking me constantly. And add my walls to take away some of the torch spam. I do see the naturally generated desert well. Maybe we should hook this path across the camel stable entrances to the well, because that would make sense that you might want to get water from the well and leave the watering hole for the camels. And my paths are almost connected. I usually start at both ends and work my way to the middle. That way it kind of naturally meets where it should, if that makes sense. Oh, it looks like poor little Husky never figured out how to get out. I can see why coming up, his hitbox does not allow him to fit through this 1 block gap, so let me help him. There we go, Husky. Now you can roam around. My axe is nearly broken from all of that chopping. I made a new one. I'm hoping to get some good enchantments on it, and then if I have to, I can combine it with the nearly broken one. Okay, so it's offering us Unbreaking, and we got Efficiency 3 and Unbreaking 3. And since I was here, I decided to enchant my almost broken pickaxe with Fortune 2, and then I can combine this with my other Fortune 2 pickaxe to get Fortune 3. I think it's finally time that we can take down our little tiny baby tree farm area, as well as all of the bamboo. If I do need to regrow any of these things, I can do it in a less prominent location of the base area. And here's a big picture update on what the base is looking like. I think it's turning out so good, and I'm so excited for the next big build, which hopefully we'll be able to start soon. With these new paths that we laid out finished, it's time to add all of the decor. I start with the big bush, and of course I can't forget the lanterns on all these walls that we put up. And then I got totally distracted and started working on the path from basically the starter hut area to the horse stables. I ended up deciding to widen this walkway a little bit because it was only 2 blocks and that feels a little claustrophobic, so I'm making it 3. And I decided it made the most sense for the path to go to the gates that let you into the corral rather than to the stables itself. I totally forgot I've had this red wool in my inventory forever, and there is a horse place by my house that has a ball in the corral for the horses, and I thought that would be the perfect ball for Nadazo. I think he'll eventually grow to love his ball. I didn't have plans originally to include a desert well in my build, but because this one naturally spawned here, I decided I'm going to keep it just the way it is, but just make it slightly more fancy. Of course, that means having to deal with directional terracotta, but I'm going to make it work. Oh, it's cute. Just like the perfect amount of fancy color. And now I'm just gonna be filling in the path to the stables from the hut. Now to add the bushes, walls to hold lanterns, add in a mix of copper and iron lanterns, cactus, dead bush, and dried grass. Oh, almost forgot cactus flower. The decorated paths really help everything come together nicely. Did you guys just become best friends? Aw, that's cute. I had been doing such a good job killing creepers, but I messed up on this one. I gotta fix this creeper hole. Since I've been focusing on paths and getting around the area, I decided to add some steps to make it a little bit easier to climb up to the sheep pen. I think it makes most sense to have access from the path just in a straight line. So you choose if you want to go left to the horse corral or straight ahead for the sheep pen. That works. I might decorate it a little bit more later, but for now, I think that is perfect. From my overhead view, I did realize that I think this farm plot could be a lot bigger and sort of fill out this empty space in between all of these paths. So I'm going to expand it into a much larger circle. Okay, that looks so much better. I just need to add dirt to my list of things that we need to collect. Where did you come from? Bye. The plan for today is to collect all of the dirt we're gonna need to finish the farm plot. I also need a lot of red dye and blue dye, so I'm going to be collecting poppies and cornflowers. And since we're going to be close to the plains, I might as well give it another shot to get a zombie horse. Excuse me, Piggy, I don't want to hit you with my shovel. Part of the reason why I wanted red dye was because I need pink, but peonies give pink dye, and I think this is actually a really good number, so I'm just gonna take them all. Will tonight be the night that I get a zombie horse? Nope, never saw one even. Back at our base, I can use all of that dirt that I got to expand the farm. Whoops. I don't really need the expansion for my own food purposes. I actually have been doing quite well with the baked potatoes we've gotten just from this little patch, but I just think that this bigger farm will look a lot nicer in the whole scope of the base itself. For this farm bed, I'm going to divide the circle into quadrants using the carrots and then fill in 2 quadrants with wheat and 2 with potatoes. And there's what it looks like. I did run out of potatoes. I will definitely grow enough to fill it in, but I think that looks really nice. I think the treehouse is in need of a little bit of a trim. The vines have gotten out of control. I know I can stop them with string, but I've been converting all my string to leads because I do want to catch some nautilus, and I'm hoping to catch a zombie horse. So for now, I'm just going to break them every so often. I have definitely been struggling with the zombie horse acquisition, so I think it's time to turn our focus to the sea and to the nautilus. And even though I have 2 pufferfish, I think I want more before I try collecting nautilus, just so I definitely have enough to tame them. Now there don't seem to be any nautilus in the ocean. Hello, nautilus? And noticing what time of day it is and where I'm located, I decided I might as well go back and try again to get the zombie horse. Is this going to be the night that we get the zombie horse? No. And also... oh, 2. Since I had to go back and get my stuff, I decided to take Nazo for our fun little ride to the plains from whence he came. And I was able to get all of my stuff back. Then I headed back out to sea to tame a nautilus, and I got super lucky because the first one I found tamed on the first try. Why can't finding a zombie horse be just as easy as finding a nautilus? I will never understand. Back at the base, I quickly crafted up a saddle and gave the nautilus a try. I do find the controls a little tricky because I'm used to pressing space for up, but space makes you launch, so that's different and new to me. I hunted some more pufferfish on the nautilus, and it is really nice to be able to just be in the ocean and not have to worry about breathing. Now that we have the nautilus, it's time to put all this white glass to use and build a home for our new friend. And this is where the time lapse of that build should go, but instead I'm just showing you the final thing because I forgot to hit record. The dome is done. It looks so good. Of course, we definitely still need to decorate, but I need to work on an underwater enclosure portion to keep the nautilus in place so I always know where they are. I will say underwater building is a lot easier when you have the nautilus. Again, I'm still getting used to the control that it's not space to go up, but besides that, this is really nice. I did run out of plain glass, so while I'm waiting for that to smell, I am heading back down to the lush cave because I definitely want glowberries to decorate the nautilus enclosure with. Ooh, I also think the spore blossom might be nice in the enclosure. I also am going to want some acacia leaves, so I'm setting up a temporary grow station here. As far as I can tell, acacia leaves seem to be one of the only leaf types that keeps its really green color even in the desert. Probably gonna have to smelt more glass because I think this would look best like 5 deep. I definitely think it's gonna have to go deeper than this. Ooh, it's looking so cute. I think the pink glass is just like a subtle hint towards like nautilus, and I love the way the acacia leaves look. And underneath I added one more layer of glass followed by a layer of jungle wood, and then I'm filling in the floor with sandstone. I am running quite low on sand, so I headed over to this little hill across the ocean from the base area so that I could tear down as much sand as I wanted without worrying about the landscaping. Ah, look at our base from over here. And my pockets are full of sand and sandstone, so it's time to head back. I definitely have enough sandstone to complete the floor of the nautilus enclosure. I'm going to keep the decorating under the water pretty simple. I'm just adding in some bushes here, and I'm knocking out a little bit of the glass here for our in and out point of the enclosure. To add a little bit of ambient light, I am putting some sea pickles next to the bushes in the enclosure, and I'm completely filling the hole that we put in the glass with gates so that we can go in and out on the nautilus hopefully easily. I think that's a big enough space. And finally, I'm just gonna dot a little bit of this seagrass throughout. Again, I wanted to keep the decor in this enclosure pretty simple. I think the last thing we need to do is the spore blossom. And of course, we need to connect this dome to the path, so I'm working on that now. Wall, lantern bush, dead bush, dried grass, cactus. Done. And I finally harvested enough potatoes to finish the plot. I can't wait to see what it looks like when they're all fully grown. I really like the particles that the spore blossom is adding. It's so cute. I hope you like your new house. Here's a little treat. Aw, we need a name for this guy. I think it would be cool to have more than one in that enclosure. It's fairly large, so let's get this guy. Oh my goodness. There we go. Okay, my gate system seems to be working because we're all gonna fit through here. Amazing. I've never bred a nautilus. I don't even know if I've seen the baby in person. Oh my gosh, he's so cute. At some point in all of our adventures, all of my armor has broken, so it's definitely time to get that back on. And the reason I felt like I might need some armor is because we are going to be out hunting for the zombie nautilus or the coral zombie nautilus, whichever we find. And when those spawn, they spawn with a tried and drowned. And I am not about to face that with no armor. I did turn on hitboxes because it's really hard to see with shaders underwater at night. So hopefully this helps me find one, and I have better luck finding a zombie nautilus than I've had finding zombie horses. I swam all night through the coral ocean and the normal ocean, and it's almost day, and I never saw a zombie nautilus. So either the baby died or it grew up and the other one despawned. I don't know, but I still only have 2 nautilus. I do want to build a dome enclosure for both the zombie nautilus and the coral zombie nautilus, which is what I needed all this purple dye for, but I also need amethyst crystals. And I made my way down here without realizing that my Silk Touch pickaxe broke, so I need a new one. Hopefully I can roll Silk Touch. Okay. There's a chance. I don't have very many levels. Putting the enclosure building on pause for now because it is nighttime again, and hopefully we'll have better luck this night and find a zombie nautilus because we can just keep it in the current enclosure until the new one is built just for it. Oh, is that one? What in the world? There's a skeleton horse before I find a zombie. Okay. Wow, guys. I did get off the nautilus so that he wouldn't get caught in the crossfire, and I was able to dispatch all of the skeletons and collect every skeleton horse and bring it up to land. I cannot believe that I found a skeleton horse underwater before I even see a zombie nautilus. My luck is very strange. And since most of the night had been spent killing the skeletons and hauling around skeleton horses, I, of course, did not find a zombie nautilus. And now it's day, so time to put this nautilus away. I've been debating on whether or not to do this, but I really do think I need the levels and the Silk Touch to be able to complete the last 2 builds, which is the Zombie Nautilus build and the Coral Zombie Nautilus build. Both need Silk Touch, one for amethyst clusters and one for coral blocks. So it's time to go back to our zombie spawner and very slowly but very assuredly collect our 25 levels that we need to be able to enchant. A few YouTube videos later, I'm finally back to level 30. Look at all this rotten flesh we got. Time to head back up to the base. After enchanting and scraping and enchanting again a few times, we finally got Silk Touch. Yes! I'm so excited. Now we can have our crystals for the zombie nautilus enclosure. This enclosure is bamboo blocks, purple glass, accented with amethyst clusters. Night 83, no zombie nautilus in sight, even with hitboxes. I hope this doesn't turn into a zombie horse situation. I mean, maybe it's for the best because the enclosure isn't even done, and maybe once it's completely built, he will come. If you build it, he will come kind of thing. I have no idea why I'm doing this not on my Nautilus because I keep almost drowning, but I'm almost done, so I guess it's okay. After trimming the edge with the amethyst block, I'm now just gonna fill it in with sandstone and call this one good. Just finishing up adding a little bit of some big vines that I rudely got interrupted doing last night by phantoms. And I think it turned out pretty cute. I actually really like the vibes of this enclosure. I like the bright green and the purple, and I think it's perfect for a zombie nautilus. And I went back to my sand hill because I am again out of sand and sandstone, so I spent the rest of the day collecting some more. On the way back to the base across the ocean, I stopped to collect coral for the coral zombie nautilus enclosure and also kept an eye out for either one of those, and I did not see them this night. I spent most of this day getting ready for that coral zombie nautilus build and then headed off to the plains to spend the night there to see if I could get the zombie horse. I don't know, Husky. I thought you'd be my good luck charm, but no zombie horses have spawned at all. I even tried hitboxes to see if that would help me spot one, but literally 0 zombie horses spotted this night. Alright, boys, let's head home. And for the coral zombie nautilus, I am using a mix of pink, magenta, blue, and yellow glass with bamboo and jungle accents. So I designed this one to be full to the brim with water so that I could use actual coral blocks in the build. So I am just very slowly filling this dome with water. Okay, it's completely full and you can see water's like pouring out of it, but I'm gonna fill all those holes with coral. But first, some zombie nautilus and coral zombie nautilus hunting. No luck. Let's see if this works. It didn't die, so I think we're good. I think that counts as it touching water. I am splashing them with water just to make sure, but I think we're good. This one is definitely the most colorful of the domes, and I think that makes sense because the coral zombie nautilus has a lot of colors on it, and I liked being able to use coral for the build as well, and I think my plan of filling it with water has worked. Yay, all the coral lived. It looks so cute. I like this dome so much. Any zombie nautilus out tonight? Hello? I feel like with hitboxes, it would be really easy to see them. Like, look, I'm 2 hitboxes stuck together. So I think hitboxes on is helping. I just literally have seen none ever in this whole world. We had traveled pretty far in the night and I did find a shipwreck where I got gold nautilus armor, so I named my nautilus Goldie, and we also found a treasure map. I know there's some like F3 screen method, but I love the nestle method. You just nestle in to the X and dig straight down, and there's the chest. On the long journey back home, I heard a sound that made me stop and turn around. Wait, I think there was a trident. We got him! Okay. Not with leaves. Yes. Yes. We got one. We got one. We got one. We got one. Okay, I don't want him to burn. Okay, I don't think he's burning. I think he's okay. Maybe it's only the coral one that kind of... No, 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 no. Oh, no. Luckily, I had captured the coordinates and I was able to get all of my stuff back. Goldie was fine. I turned on hitboxes just in case. All I saw was tropical fish. And then I looked down and there he is. He didn't despawn. We finally got some sort of zombie variant. The zombie Nautilus is ours. You are coming home with me, buddy. It's been quite the adventurous day, but I'm so happy that he didn't despawn and we finally have a zombie Nautilus to put in our enclosure. I don't plan on being able to take him in and out, so I'm just fencing up his opening. Oh, I'm so happy. Excuse me, sir. I'm trying to be happy. On day 90, I worked on the underneath part of the coral zombie Nautilus enclosure and took a little time to trim the vines and admire the view of our Nautilus domes. Sometimes it's just nice to walk around your world a little bit and enjoy it. And it's about time I complete the bottom of the coral dome. I'm using bamboo as the trim, and then I'm going to fill in the bottom of this one with the rest of the colored glass that I made. And even though I was hopeful, we did not find a coral zombie Nautilus this night. But I did get another plain zombie Nautilus, which is kind of cool. I'm glad they have each other. So cute. And right around sunset, I was able to squeeze in one palm tree trunk. There are definitely more coming. And this night, I didn't find a coral zombie Nautilus or even just a plain zombie Nautilus. It was kind of a bust of a night. And I've got all my palm tree trunks placed. I think this is a good amount and I like the way that they're placed. So next step is just to get all of the leaves on. I worked on it until these phantoms spawned and knocked me off, but I only got a couple done. I like this shape. I think that it's gonna look really good once we get them all in. I did not get very far when I ran out of leaves, but these few are done. I still have all of those to go. After a little bit of counting and some math, I knew that I needed about 6 stacks more of oak leaves and a couple stacks of azalea leaves. So it was back to the lush cave for the azalea saplings. And I ended up just growing them underground so I could get the leaves as quickly as I need, because once we get to the last like 10 days of 100 days, I start really panicking that I'm not going to finish. I then headed over to the jungle because there are lots of oak trees in the jungle and I couldn't help myself. I turned on hitboxes and just took a quick glance around every so often for a coral zombie Nautilus. I ended up getting yet another plain zombie Nautilus, which of course I will take it. But I'm really hoping we'll be able to get the coral one before the 100 days is over. I'm really glad I brought all my iron with me because I sheared my little heart out in the jungle getting all these oak leaves. And then with my pockets full of leaves and another zombie Nautilus trailing behind me, it was time to head back home to finish our palm trees. Even with just a few of the palm trees completed, it looks so much better. I cannot wait to see it with all of them done. And after a day of placing leaves, all of the palm trees are done. I think it just frames the base so well. I really like how much life they add to the area. My only issue, and it's very small nitpick, is that I did practice building palm trees in creative and the jungle leaves turn out so much more yellow in a desert. It's surprising, but I don't care. I think it looks good. I think it fits the desert vibe. Like, I'm just really happy with how much they add to the base. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. I had to go rescue this guy again. Look, Husky, the palm trees are done. Since I need nighttime to have a chance to get the zombie horse and the zombie coral nautilus, I'm deciding to use the daytime to just do a little bit of touches here and there to the area. And so I've built this little dining area, and I'm doing the string with carpets trick to make the umbrella for shade. Oh, it's so cute. I mean, I might as well buy something from this guy, and I do love Vanillium. These are the last two of my fancy pots. I think they look really good up here in this dining area. And then I ended up using the alliums as well as the flowering azalea leaves to complete the decor for this area. And as night falls, Nadazo and I headed back to the plains to have another shot at the zombie horse. I tried a different method this time, which involved kind of like racing back and forth across the plains, but still no luck. The base area is looking so good with those palm trees. I have not seen it from the back. I like it. I do have a little bit of open space here next to the enchantment hut, and I thought this would be really nice to have a fire pit area and maybe some fallen logs as bench seating. Very simple, but just a little something. I do think that at this height that this is somewhere people would naturally want to come just look at the ocean. I also laid out some beach towels so people could lounge if they wanted to lay out. It seemed like a little bit of a safety hazard, so I'm just gonna put these slabs to kind of mark where the fire is. As it was starting to get dark, I added this little boulder outside of the corral, and then I decided to make the pathway from the gate to the stables a little bit easier to walk with some slabs. I am running out of time for this zombie horse. I think this might be my last shot at trying for it. I do have one more night. I'm trying to decide if I should be going for the zombie horse or the coral zombie nautilus. Oh my gosh, he's there. I'm running because I don't want it to despawn because it's despawned before like so quickly. Okay, I hit a zombie. That will trigger all of them to come get me. So the horse should be on its way to me. He's there. Come on, come on. Come on, just do it. Just be my friend. Just be my friend. I've been waiting my whole life for you. Come on. Please. I saw hearts. Yes. Now he's not gonna burn. We have a zombie horse on the night of day 98. That's crazy. I ended up taking a small detour so we could craft a saddle to ride this guy home in style. Not a Zoe. Look, I brought you a Zoe horse. Oh my gosh, that was an ordeal, but we did it. Oh, I'm happy. Since I'm over here on the horse pond side of things, I decided to add some more seating areas just to decorate this side of the base. It's a little bit barren over here. I love how the palm tree is actually shading me from the bright shader sun. That just feels so cool to see in Minecraft. I unfortunately think this is the last of my string, so I won't be able to complete this umbrella, but we'll do what we can. I don't think it's super noticeable. I am going to put another little seating area on this side. This side will not have an umbrella since, again, I don't have any string left. Now that we've had the zombie horse luck, I'm hoping we will have the zombie coral nautilus luck. Oh my gosh, I see one. It has to be coral because we're in the coral reef. It is. Okay, don't panic. Oh my gosh, I cannot believe how lucky we are getting. At the very last possible chance, I'm finding all these mobs. Come on, Goldie, let's go home. I wholeheartedly believe that once the coral zombie nautilus is in its enclosure, it's gonna be fine, but just in case, out here, I'm gonna put the copper armor on it just to protect it from the sun. And then once I get it in the enclosure, I will take the armor off. I am taking 0 chances with this guy. I mean, he's definitely worth it, and he's not burning. He's doing great. Whew, feels good to have everything collected that I wanted to get during this playthrough. Day 100 is always a day where I just take care of any last little things that need doing, like moving these skeleton horses into the corral, trimming the vines one last time, giving some little snackies to Gerald. Hi. I know you don't like snackies, so none for you. Speaking of camel husks, where is Husky? Maybe I could see him from the rooftop. We haven't been up there in a while. Oh! What are you doing, buddy? You want to go on the roof? You can go. Oh, he can't fit. Okay, I'll help you. I'll help you. Okay, that's a little sketchy. I wish you wouldn't. You do look very majestic, though. I will give you that. Kind of sad that it has to be raining on the last day, but that's just how it goes sometimes, right, Husky? And I do think I have a little bit more time to add one more seating area. And since I have the carpets, I think I might do like a checkered picnic blanket right here on the sand. And since I also have quite a bit of jungle fence left, I think I'm going to convert a lot of the torch spam to more of like a tiki torch kind of situation by putting them onto fences. It's slightly better than torch spam. And since night fell, a phantom chased me inside, and I realized I haven't really done much decorating inside my own living space, so it was time to take care of that with the little time I had left. I put my armor up and decorated with a little bit more of the azalea leaves that I had. Of course, I had to use one of my hard-earned crystals as decor. I did make a jukebox and put it as the headboard for my bed and displayed my one and only music disc from this playthrough. And I honestly think that painting is the best painting to represent this playthrough, especially if we think about the zombie horse. And a cactus flower for the desert. I've really enjoyed this playthrough. The sun is almost up and it's over. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, you are so sparkly and I love it. Let me know in the comments what kind of 100 days you'd like to see next, and I will see you next time.